Hello, people. I think I'm live. Yes, I'm live. Hello. Here we go with the kitchen table talk. Welcome. Get in here, family. Get in here. Y'all better get in here quickly. Get in here. We got some good stuff for y'all tonight. Get in here, family. Get in here. I'm waiting on my poo-poo as usual. Our internet situation, y'all. This is gonna arrive. But anyway, y'all get in here, family. How y'all doing? Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? You guys, oh my God. It's been a day for me, and we at the kitchen table. So you know what? I just want to let it out while I wait on Ram to pull herself together and see if she can get in. And if she can't, we just gonna keep going. But anyway, oh my God, I'm in the middle of a deal, you guys. This is. I had a little meltdown. We still continuing mental health month, mental health, taking care of your mental health. And just taking care of you, checking in with you, checking on the strong as well as the weak, making sure that everybody is okay. But I'm going through a major business deal, or trying to anyway, and I'm, right in the middle of this deal. I'm thinking everything is all smooth. We going good. And then my guy called me today and was like, "Oh, Tina, what's going on? You checked your credit lately?" And I said, "No, I ain't had no reason to." What's happening? He tells me my credit score done dropped 100 points. I said, "Wait, what?" I'm a golden child. Now, y'all know I flipped all the way backwards with that one, because Lord have mercy, my credit is my everything. That is how I make moves in this society right now. And I mean, it literally just defunct my entire day. It potentially puts me in a position to lose thousands of dollars, because that one little credit score. I'm like, so I look at the score that he sent me. Literally, my credit score then dropped 100 points. Y'all want to know? I was regularly in the eights. Yes, I'm very proud of my credit score because I've worked very hard at maintaining and getting there. So I'm regularly in the 800s. And he said it dropped all the way literally to the 600s. And I just literally still about to cry. Hello, y'all work with me. It's a big deal for me, y'all. It's a big deal. But no, on a serious note. So that is kind of my kitchen soup today. I just want to, make sure that you guys regularly check in, tap in with your credit, and credit is very important. It's really how you are gauged in society today. So, to go on with the story, I find out that is a faux pas in my credit. I start calling around, and it's obviously a huge miscommunication. But the point is, it's there, and I can't do anything about it now. It's going to take literally 30, 60, 90 days, whatever. Hey, Daddy, thanks for checking in. Thanks, Dad. It's going to take, however long process it takes for you to dispute and do all these other things. But I am thoroughly pissed about it. Thoroughly. Like, I had to literally come home and take a chill pill, kind of back up from it. But I was about to literally flip a lid, because literally it's gonna cost me a lot of money, or may even potentially kick me out of a deal. So I just want you guys to be careful. Hey, cousin, glad you joined us tonight. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, because say it's okay. No, it's not. I literally was crying today. Like, cause anybody who knows me knows my credit is very important to me. I worked very hard to get it to where it is. And I do take pride. And it's a certain comfort that you have knowing, just like I was comfortable and like, yeah, put me in the ring. I got this. No problem. Go to sleep on it. And then he like, whoa, Tina, what's going on? I'm like, what are you talking about? Not me, not the golden child. But it kind of gave me a reality check. Yes, I am too fallible as well. And things happen, stuff happen, and I may not be able to jump in on this deal, but now I'm very conscious now of kind of running that on a regular basis. And then on top of all that, you guys, I ain't got time to do it like I did it in the past. I went on and paid a service to do it. It's a whole bunch of people out there. I contracted American Credit. Get your lawyers and do what you got to do, because I need this done fast and in a hurry to try to salvage whatever I can. And so that cost me $800, and only as a favor because I'm going through a friend. But normally that deal was $1,400 just to get them to come in and try to mitigate that situation for me. And I'm so pissed. And, because I'm thinking, okay, what about my history? You know that this is a defunct on the credit. It's an error. You can look at my history and see that has not been a situation. Y'all know what it was? $53. I'm ready to I don't want to cuss over here, but I'm ready to kill sons of not my mother. But anyway, yeah, $53. Why would I let $53 ruin my entire credit history that I've worked so hard for? So people, y'all listening to me? Get it together. If y'all ain't paying attention, check on your credit. Folks just throw stuff on there. I was actually even ready today to pick up a new cause. I'm ready to go to Sacramento, get a law passed that, they gotta do some stuff before they can just throw stuff on your credit like that. I didn't appreciate that, And y'all see Ram coming up here. She's still spinning anyway. I tried to get her in. But anyway, so that is what my day was like, on top of some earlier meetings that I was in that was just with this COVID stuff. If y'all don't know, I have adult residential care facilities, and y'all know, if y'all watching or staying in tune with any of the news, the skilled nursing facilities and things like that. That's where a lot of the COVIDs is being passed. So they're coming down really hard on all of the facilities. It's not our, the home care facilities like we have, but those large 90, 100 bed type facilities are really contracting a lot of COVID patients. So I've been in meetings all day with that. But anyway, so that's a whole nother background. So y'all, it's crazy out here. And so that's why we doing the check-in with mental health, because we still got to always remember, okay, just breathe and bring it down a notch. Remember, don't stress out over nothing you really can't control. And I had a literally headache today, like it was pounding, and I had to take in some of my own advice because I can't control what didn't happen now. It's completely out of my control. And all I can do now is try to fix it and mitigate it and move forward. Ram says, she's still trying to get herself situated in her new place. Congratulations on that. But her Wi-Fi keeps kicking her off. So we may have to just move on without Ram. She's going to be in the background. Ram, if you can hear us or see us, maybe, chime in on the questions and things like that. And we'll move forward. So having said that, I want to bring a very, very, very special friend. You guys know we still work with mental health. We're trying to maintain our mental health and deal with major losses this month. And this will be the last. I do want to apologize because it was a very, very heavy month, but I do feel like it was necessary and needed. Like I said, hello. I had a couple breakdowns this month. We need to check in every now and then to make sure that we're still working okay, and things are going all right mentally, and dealing with given the times that we're in. Everybody's losing relatives to COVID, and just various major losses, losing jobs, losing health care, losing all kinds of stuff. We just need to check in and make sure that we still moving soundly. And so my very dear friend Dr. Ali-Shah Pettaway, is going to come on and share her story. I won't tell you her story. I'm going to let her come on and tell you her story, but I want to just, beforehand appreciate her. And you guys welcome Miss Dr. Ali-Shah Pettaway. Let's hope we have good.
Yes.
Hi!
Hi.
You did.
Hi.
Ali-Shah, oh my God. First of all, before we get into the heavy stuff, I've been knowing you I don't know how many years, and you've been letting me call you. I done spelled your name wrong 100 times. You ain't never corrected me till now. Like, really? I was sending her all the paperwork, you guys, and I'm doing Ali-Shah, and she, corrected me on this last thing. It was Ali, and then SHAH. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's your name for real? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that was news to me. So you never really know what you think you know. But anyway, Ali-Shah, thank you for coming on,
Thank you for
sharing
having
your story. I know it's been a journey for you. Yeah, and I'm gonna let you get into that shortly. But what I want to say is that we have been covering significant losses all month long. We've had, thoughts of suicide, loss of children to violence, and things of that nature. And I just want to say that I have actually learned a lot. And I want to say that going forward, I know I'm starting it off early, but I just, I'm going to do it again at the end. But I just want everybody to kind of tap into it and really listen. And I hope that others have learned as I have learned, because I thought, they the ones supposed to let us know, and why we, and I just kind of put a lot of the blame on the person who was experiencing the loss, not looking at how I can step up and really support the person who's experiencing a loss. Flora, thank you for joining us. Samantha, thank you for joining us. And so before I get too much into it, Ali-Shah, introduce yourself more than I already have. Give your accolades and just tell people a little bit about you and what you've gone through.
Okay, well, my name is Ali-Shah Pettaway. I am an elementary school teacher, and I have been teaching in the classroom, working with children for 17 years now. I've always loved children. I've always been around children. I've always gone to friends, kids' parties, birthday parties, all those different things. I was just that type of person. I finally got to the time where, well, I thought that I did everything right. Okay, so I'm going to go to college. I'm going to finish college. I'm going to buy my home. I'm going to get married. Then I'm going to have a baby. I'm going to do all these things in this order to try to do it correctly, as I do have control over most of the things that happen in my life. And so in 2018, I got pregnant. I was just the happiest time of my life, because I just never expected to. I don't know if you've ever wanted something so bad, and then when you finally get it, it's like you're on that dream come true type of moment, and it's just kind of like it's surreal. It's basically surreal. So I was excited and happy, and after that, my whole world came crashing down. 10 days later after giving birth to Kerrington Kobe. So it was devastating. And so life after that was just sort of a blur, but devastating, dark, deep, depressing, just all of those things that could just make someone not even want to live anymore. It was just really, 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 really hard.
So, Alicia, explain to us. You're saying life after Karen Jacoby, you did all the right things. You got married, got the house, and how old were you when you finally conceived?
40.
You're 40 years old. Did you think you were ever able going to conceive?
After yes, because I didn't know that I had a tumor. Now I would always have frequent miscarriages. And so I didn't know what the problem was, and the doctors didn't know what the problem was as far as why I kept having miscarriages. And at that time, I was living in LA, and I was under the care of Cedar Sinai, and so they missed it. And then once I moved out here, and I went to Kaiser, and I was working out really well, thought I was getting some abs. And so the doctor was pressing on my stomach, was like, "Oh, I feel something." And I said, "Oh, it's probably because I'm getting some abs, and plus I have to use the restroom." And so the doctor said, "Okay, well, let me go check it out." And so he ran some tests, and I had a tumor there. I had a tumor in my uterus right there where a baby would grow, in that direct location. And so I had a procedure called a myomectomy, to where they remove the tumor and but save your uterus in case you want to bear children. And so I had that procedure done. And after that, I was good.
So that was what was preventing you from the pregnancy all them years, and you didn't know.
That was
Right.
causing.
You've always been Auntie Alicia and everybody's godmother the
Mhm.
whole all the years because
Yeah.
you was thinking it just wasn't gonna happen for you.
Right,
So
exactly.
doing that, ladies, go get yourself checked, have second opinions, multiple opinions, because oftentimes you know your body better than any of these doctors. That's not the topic tonight, but I do want to make note of that because it's very important to just pay attention and have second opinions because it could cost you a lot of time and money. And so, okay, go ahead, Alicia.
Yeah.
So you decided, you moved out there, they moved the tumor, you got pregnant, and then what happened?
And then I got pregnant, and then everything was fine. I had to go to the maternal doctor a lot, once a week, because I was over the age of 35. So I have to go once a week. They check the baby, make sure everything is okay. And so I was doing, everything I'm supposed to do. And they kind of put me on bed rest. They said I could work, but just to make sure that when I, just take it easy or whatever. And by me being a teacher, I really didn't have to stand on my feet a lot. At that time, I could, sit down or call a group to the table or do things in a different way to still be effective in my position. So, so after that, I had her, and she was fine. And they said that she started to, after I had Karen Jacoby, I had her C-section on June 22nd. And they said, and she cried. It's so beautiful. And
It's okay. I want you to keep it real. You know we keeps it real. Me and you. I know. Take a moment. It's difficult.
okay, so they
One
said,
thing
oh,
I've learned, one thing I have learned, we tend to be uncomfortable with silence, and silence is okay. I've learned that during this process. So I'm like trying to be okay with the silence, and it's good. You take what you need, the time that you need to take to regroup, Alicia.
so they said that she was the way that she sounded, it was sounded a little funny. So you know how they assess the baby, check the baby out. So they took her to the back and they said that she had a little rip in her trachea, just like a little small rip. And they said that they wanted to do a little surgery, but it wouldn't be invasive to where they would have to cut her. They would go down her throat with a camera and repair it. So they did that. And so mind you, I'm still like under anesthesia from the C-section. And it was, you still kind of groggy and, like that. So, so she was in the NICU recovering and everything was fine. And my sister was, I was asleep in the bed, and then my sister was on night watch with Kerrington in the NICU. And she tapped me on my leg, and I just knew something was wrong. So here I am, still had a catheter in me. I'm like, she's like, you gotta get in the wheelchair. I'm like, I'll just hurry up and get to the NICU, which was right down the hall. And so, so what happened? I guess while she was recovering, she crashed, and so they were trying to resuscitate her and bring her back, and they did. And I can't even remember like how long she was had crashed or anything of that nature. I just it's so much of a blur.
Right, you fogged out.
Which I now found out is grief fog. It's called grief fog. But so that was like at our Kaiser, LA. So we transfer her to Children's Hospital, and Children's Hospital Los Angeles and Children's Hospital Los Angeles are amazing. They are absolutely amazing. So if anybody is looking for a to sponsor or help, or they want to do any charities or anything, the Ronald McDonald House and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, hands down. So I had some great doctors and everything there, and they did everything that they could.
So okay. So I know obviously that was very difficult for you, and so now we're gonna fast forward. We get the services, and and actually they allowed you to leave the baby and everything there until you could come to terms with everything. Yeah. So I think they were amazing with that part, because you shared that with me, and that was really amazing.
Yes, they didn't rush me. They said take your time to make arrangements. We know that this is very hard, and they still reach out to me to this day. To the hospital, the counselors, and the doctors. Doctor gave me her personal number. The nurses were amazing. They still reach out to me to this day, as mentioned. So they allowed me to let her her body stay there as long as I needed to do whatever I needed to do. They said if she needed to stay there, if I needed her to stay there for a year, then I could. It was no rush.
That was great. Yeah, that was awesome. So now, how are you? I know it's been how long has it been now?
It's been 2 years.
2 years. And I know we are talking about support and how we support. How is life right now for you after that situation?
Well, life changed drastically in different ways as far as support is concerned. After she passed away, after she died, I learned in therapy, like, you need to say the word die, because you need to come to reality with it. So after she died,
wait, so is that important that you use the actual word die versus passed away or transitioned?
And when I was in my therapy session, they suggested and thought that yes, because a lot of us would try to, we're still under denial stages. And so what happens is we try to use these pacifying words to try to um, not really defy the hard reality of what it is. I mean, she's dead, as harsh as it may sound, but for a grieving parent, it's we have to get to the terms to understand and accept that. And go through the truth, the hardcore truth. The truth is she's dead. I can say, oh, she passed away, she's in clouds with the angels, and she's dead. And once I understand and accept that, then you can go on to say the terms that you wish to, that others wish to say. But the truth is the truth, and we have to face the truth. And from what I've learned is that's the way to get through it, because you have to go through it. You have to go through it. If not, sometimes it comes out in other ways. It comes out in other ways. And
how came out for you?
For me, I went through it. I went through it. So in the beginning, I was, as many people who, not all, but as many people that I know and that I've met along this journey who has lost a child. I mean, it was really difficult the first time around. I mean, it's just literally, you just can't get out the bed.
Right.
Can't get out the bed.
And
with no appetite, you don't even want to be bothered. Clean up, get up, and do what? I don't even want to breathe.
How did your family support you through those days when you didn't want to get out of bed? What would us as supporters do during those days? Because I think those are the most difficult days. And those are the days as we as supporters find it very, very hard. How do we help you during those days?
I didn't even know what I needed. I just know that I didn't. So it was really difficult. Sometimes, okay, how my family helped me, or how supporters, not just family, but friends or anybody, helped me during that time. I think they would try to, so I'm going through, because grief fog. So I'm going through what I remember, but I think they would try to like call and text or like invite me to, certain places to hang out or do family functions or different things like that. But I just wasn't, I didn't, yeah. And I had a friend, my good friend, Tennille. She would just come and I'm laying in the bed and she would just sit. She would just sit with me.
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't say anything. She would just sit. She would just sit with me.
I remember you telling me, and that was kind of, I think, the first time I actually had heard that just come and sit. You ain't got to say nothing, which I've said earlier in the podcast. Silence is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So when you shared that with me some time ago in our conversations, because you and I talk, we have long conversations.
Right.
It's kind of what helped spark me to go ahead and really do this broadcast, is like, because I learned so much from you. Like, I felt like we were just really falling short of helping.
Because the main thing is, what happens is, I don't know, we're kind of like, all the questions are not being answered all the way, so we'll double back to that. But I think what happens is we get caught up in the I don't know what to do and I don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I've learned is saying absolutely nothing is the worst thing you can do. Saying nothing at all. And when I say nothing, I don't mean when you're coming to sit with me. I mean, if something has happened, someone's child has died, and they don't offer any condolences or things of that nature because they don't know what to do, what to say. I'm talking about that saying nothing is kind of the worst thing that you can do. Now, as far as just coming to sit when someone's grieving, I probably wouldn't have known either what to do prior to my daughter dying. But once I was in there, it's almost like I had a different experience by me going through it to know exactly what sitting with somebody really meant.
Really meant, yeah.
Just the presence of the person being there to show that they care, because we know that no one, if you guys haven't lost a child, that you really wouldn't know what to say, but we do know that you support us and that you love and care about us enough, but not to give up on us. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like that people get tired of the tears.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And I know it does feel like that because I know everybody who's come on, they that's the one thing that they have shared, that they feel like Lolo shared last week. The hardest part for her is feeling like she can't talk about it anymore, and I felt so bad because it's like, oh no, I don't want you to feel like that. No, I know it's difficult to be sad a lot or all the time, but I don't want anyone to feel like, or any of my friends to feel like they can't call me and talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely, especially now, I'm trying to step up. In fact, she laughed at me because I called her the other day. I was like, "How you doing today?" No, I want to really know how you're doing. She started laughing, but she know that's me. I'm gonna do what I can, and yeah, I get it. I don't want, so that is what we learn. We learning. We in school. So that's why I'm having these conversations. I want you guys to tell us the truth. Tell us where we falling short, because if we don't know, we can't pull it up. Because I'll be honest, what I've always heard, or what I've heard from many of my friends who have lost or suffered a great loss, is uh, everybody left, everybody fell off, nobody, they typing it all in Instagram. I'm all alone, nobody's here, and I'm like, well, I just talked to you today. Wait, what? So that's what the supporters are thinking. So we are not doing it right. We need to know how to do it right, so that we don't have this breakdown. And so for you, that feeling of feeling alone and feeling like you couldn't, when people were there, like what weren't they doing?
Well, it's like okay. The honeymoon phase, 30, 60, 90 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, people will be there and they will do stuff and they will get there, and then they eventually start, going away because they have their own life to live,
Right.
they have their own life to live. But what kind of is different for me that I think of is like, if we were close and together and doing things and communicate on a regular basis before Kerrington Kobe died. And so after she died, like did I do something, which I possibly could have been the one, to, be angry or, going through different emotional stages, or people just tired of being sad, of me being sad. So what it turned to be like in the very first year, I was really honest and open, as getting information from my therapist to, I talk about it, get it out, talk about it and be transparent. So because you need to accept it and your rock gut truth. You have to go through your rock gut truth. If not, then you will turn out to be, there's so many people with unresolved issues that they don't talk about who are really suffering, with mental health, because they bottle things up and they don't, because they don't want to be judged.
Right.
So my year, I was really open and really transparent. I was going through a roller coaster of emotions. I didn't see anything in color. Everything was in black and white. It was just really, really tough. And so what I began to, and people don't talk about it or how they feel. So I just started watching a little bit more. And it's almost like the bereaved feel, it's almost like, do we have some type of disease that nobody wants to be around us anymore? Or so what I started to do was to say, when they asked me how I'm doing, at first when people would ask me how I'm doing, I'm like, today, I'm not good. I just feel like this or I feel like that. I would be honest about, if someone asked me how am I doing, I would be honest and tell them how I'm doing. And it got to the point to now when they ask me how I'm doing, I say, oh, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm blessed. Thank you.
Okay, so when you said, okay, you got to that point, because I'm really trying to understand this. I'm trying to deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
You say, here's how I'm doing. Today I'm having a shitty day. Da 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 da. What was our response as supporters? Not anybody in particular, but with the people. What did we do that made you say, okay, I'm not gonna do that no more?
It's not what the person said, it's what the person showed. And it was began to be a distance.
So they just stop calling because they don't want to hear how
I
you
mean,
really.
well, I don't know. They didn't tell me that, but I mean,
That's what you're assuming.
yes, I have to assume that. I have to assume that based upon evidence, not based upon just me just making something up, but based upon evidence. If you have an action here, and for every action, there's a reaction. If you have an action here, and then this happens, and we were like this before, and I started, this is something new that I've been doing. I've been transparent about how I feel, deep, dark, and maybe I'm too intense with that, and people aren't ready to be on that emotional type of wavelength. They're not able to communicate that deep. They're not able to, maybe in their everyday lives, they're not able to communicate that deep. And I had to also think about that, maybe that they did what the best that they could do. That's what they were able to offer. And once I started to analyze a little bit, I had to think about it. Um, did they change, or is this the way they've always been? And I didn't notice it until I really needed someone in the most intimate and emotional way that was possible. And
Ooh,
were they even the type of person that was able to dig in that deep
right.
emotionally? Are they even able to do that? And maybe that could have scared the crap out of them. And they were not able to go in a place that I dwelled in.
Right. Oh my goodness. Now that right there is stick a pin in that. Nicole
Mm-hmm.
Williams said yes. Um, Nicole said people can't handle sadness, which is
Mm-hmm.
sadness is tough. Sadness
Mm-hmm.
is tough. But I won't necessarily say people can't handle sadness. I think it's a matter of how, like you saying, how deep can you go? Because it's okay to do the funeral and and all of that, and then after that, okay, let's get back to swinging. But the griever, you can't do that because you left there at the grief. And the people who are supporting have said, yeah, I was there for the grief. I was there for, the funeral. And that's what our package was. We never deep dived into what grief really is and what it means to the person who's grieving. So therefore, maybe they were given all that they knew how or have. Because traditionally, that's what we do. We go to the funeral, we do the thing, and then it's over. And everybody else, no, I don't know if I don't think I've ever even heard people talk about life really after grief. I know I'm not the first. I ain't trying to toot my horn there, but I'm saying I never really, maybe I didn't have the capacity. Maybe I didn't pay attention until I started doing Let's Talk. Let's talk. And in all these conversations, people are making points like you just made. This is where the person always was, and they thinking, because I'll be honest, I've heard both sides, which is another reason why I decided to do the show. I hear the family side. Now I'm going to speak up for some of the family and some of the friends who like get offended. They're pissed off. They're like, we need an intervention because they're thinking we're not the griever, we're not there. And they, because the comments go across social media. or wherever they go across the family. And the families are like, that's messed up. Like, I'm doing all I know how to do. And they still are thinking I'm not there. So then that sparks, I think, the whole, well, I ain't gonna call. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna back away. And so we got to figure out how to make the two come together. Um, yeah, we just getting all kind of comments. And see, I can't talk and listen to y'all comments too. I'm trying to talk to Ali right here. But they said, Ram said yes on both ends. The griever doesn't know what to ask for, and the supporter doesn't know what to ask to do. It's a new experience for everybody. And so look, Nicole says superficial relationship. Lord,
Right.
you being hard on people. You being a little
That's
hard.
why it's important to it's important to it's that's why it's important to be present if you can, you know. And that goes back to what we mentioned about just being here. A lot of people will say that I'm here for you. Okay,
Not
what does
really.
that mean?
Yeah. What does
What
it
does
mean?
that mean? I'm here for you. Because when I call you, you don't answer. When I text you, you don't reply. When I, you know, so I don't know. I mean, when I have a walk for in honor of my daughter, you're not there. When I have my daughter's, you know, birthday party, you're not there. If I want to set a balloon off on her anniversary day, you're not there. If I'm bought up in the corner crying on Christmas, you're not there. So where are you? So it changed my thinking and my um, definition of when people tell me I'm here. So does that mean you're just waiting and waiting on me to reach? Because a lot of times the griever doesn't. We don't. Sometimes we don't even have it in us
To
to
reach out.
always do that. Or sometimes I may want to talk and be in a deep conversation, and the other person is not on that level with me. Tina, we've had
Mhm.
plenty of conversations on the phone. You picked up the phone and called me, and we started talking for hours, and you were questioning, and I could get in that deep conversation with you
Mhm.
as a thinker and somewhere on a different level with you. And everybody, believe it or not, there's so many people who can't have those conversations like we have. I mean, everybody, some superficial thinkers, surface level thinkers, and that may just be the way that it is. They don't take internalize things in that deep way, and that's that's fine for whatever works for them or whatever. But I like to look at things and really analyze situations and really analyze and get down to what is it, you know?
So, but why do not just you, just the griever in general? Hear me now. I'm being generalized now.
Mm.
Why does the griever then now categorize that as they're not there for me versus they just don't know or not capable or not don't know how? Because like you just said, me and you, we have different conversations,
Right.
but not everybody know how to do that. Like so, because I will, like I said, I'll be honest. I'm hearing from speaking for the family too. They really feel like they were there.
And you know what? And I understand that because and that's where I got the notion of feeling as if that you know what? Sometimes people are giving you all they got.
They
They're
all they
giving you
have.
all that they have. And that may be all that they have, and that's their all, and it may not be enough
Not for yeah,
for
right, right.
me.
I think
So
Bishop teaches
that's where finding other people who are going through what
Mhm.
I'm going through, that's when they would fill in that gap because unspokenly, we speak the same language.
Right.
And we don't even have to say a word and they get it. They really get it, which is
They get
another thing that I don't like when people say is I get it. No,
there
no,
you
you
go.
don't. I
Mhm.
understand. No, no, you don't.
No, I yeah. Okay.
You have cremated or buried your child, you do not get it and you do not understand. So please do not tell a bereaved mother or father that you get it or you understand because you don't. Because if you did, you'd be right here next to me, holding my hand, supporting me while I'm on this show right now. If you did.
Ooh, Ali-Shah, that's deep. That's deep. Ali-Shah, now you know I'm gonna keep it real. Now, is the expectation really, really high
You know
for
what?
the?
My expectations are high. That's the type of person I am. My expectations are high. My standards are high. That's who I've always been. That's who I've always been. Um, I set the bar high. I've always have. In anything in my life that I've ever done, I went to 99 different colleges. No, just kidding. But everything that I've ever done, I've been an overachiever.
Right.
I've expectations in my bars, they're always high. Now, I won't say just because you're not that you don't love me or care about me or haven't given me your all. I'm not going to say that, but I'm just going to say like you don't really understand because you have not experienced this. You have
Mhm.
not. We could be in the same sitting next to each other, but until you have actually gone through it, which I pray that no one else has to, you just you won't understand. You could be as empathetic, and there's a whole nother thing of as far as empathy and compassion. That's on a whole wavelength itself. There's some people where it's there. You could be in the middle, you could be to the left or the right, and all in between there. That's a whole nother something with as
Yeah.
far as empathy is concerned. And I think it's
Yeah. You are the first person who actually taught me that grief was messy. I'm like, wait, what? Messy?
messy.
I'm
Grief
like, what?
is really messy. It's
It
really
is
messy.
messy. Grief
It goes all around. It's really, really messy. It's really complicated, and it changes the dynamics of friendships. It changes the dynamics of families, and I don't really know. I didn't feel like this before. I don't know if because I'm a little bit older. I think this has to do with my child because my mother died. I lost my mother. My other mother died. I lost my other mother. I lost a big sister. So and
right
I lost my maternal grandmother. So I've dealt with grief, but nothing.
compares. Yeah.
Oh, we.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got a consensus on that in terms of the guests and just people in general that I've talked to or spoken with in terms of grief of losing a child is nothing like that. And I'm gonna confess, I don't ever want to feel it. That's the one part I can't. I don't ever want to be in that. I don't ever want to say I know what that's like. But I do want to begin to bridge the gap, or help us bridge the gap, to help support you guys because we love you guys, and I would
Yeah.
imagine that all the families love their loved ones. And I just feel so heartbroken when I hear, both, the stories of the griever, and they not hear from me, and then the family, well, we don't know what to do, and then this and that,
Right. No one
and
knows what to do.
no one knows what to do. So, me, my big mouth, I was like, well, it's on y'all before I started this show.
Mm-hmm.
It's on y'all to tell us what y'all need. And then learning this show, I mean, learning what I've learned through this month and trying to maintain mental health. Um, y'all don't even have the capability sometimes to tell us what you need.
Right.
Or
There's some things that are unwritten that people don't even think about. Like, for example, like being asked the words, how many children do you have? Or
wait, what? I'm confused.
I'm
Wait,
just saying,
what?
like, there's so many unwritten things or things that bereaved mothers go through that people have no clue.
Right, yeah. Like
You know,
last, I think Lolo said, not to cut you off, but I think Lolo said somebody told her they were introducing Tay, and they said, "Oh, this is our oldest son," which Tay is not the oldest son. And I
mhm.
think you have even said something along those same lines, that because Carrington Kobe is
Dead.
not not with us. He was saying, I'm trying to make sure I say the right thing.
He's
Um,
dead. Uh-huh.
uh, that still doesn't make you not a mother. right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that that we forget
Right.
every
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys don't forget who suffered the loss. And so people, we gotta just be more conscious. And I don't think being conscious, it shouldn't make us feel uncomfortable. Like, oh God, I gotta remember to say this, or I gotta remember not to say that. And so I'm just trying to play devil's advocate because that's what the people think. Like, okay, I can't
Yeah.
go around it
Yeah.
because I can't be me because I don't remember to say this or that, or not to say
Exactly.
this or that.
And we feel that, and so
So,
therefore we say, well, maybe I shouldn't even go around because I don't want to make people not uh, go on with their normal and daily routines. I know that there are going to be a lot of pregnant people and babies, and I can't do pregnant women and babies and baby showers. You know,
oh, you can't. Oh, so right, you're not there
no,
yet. You
I'm not there yet. I'm not there to be around. Um, I'm better now to the point to where I can just tune out. But at first I would walk in and see a baby and turn around the other way. I would walk and see a pregnant woman. I would try to tune or just go the other direction.
but now, so now, and then we as layman people have to kind of get our got to remember or yeah, be conscious of the fact that you're still going through that grieving process because there's no limitation or no end. We did learn that. Everybody learned that. If you learned that, type it in chat. Click like and share. By the way, you guys, click like and share. This is good conversation. Somebody needs to know that because I did have a friend like you. I do have a friend. I did, but I do have a friend, and sometimes she don't want to be around people and their child because she lost her son as well. And so it's very hard for her to see people interacting with their children or their child, particularly their sons, because she
Yeah.
lost a son.
Yeah.
And that's hard for her. But then
Mhm.
how I guess we both gotta understand. Okay, you ain't coming to my son's party, or you ain't supporting me, but you want me to support you. So then it goes back to that cat and mouse.
Messy. Grief is messy.
It's
Grief is messy. It was definitely different. Like, I understand that the grief, then the hurt and the pain never ever ever leaves. However, what I do understand is the intensity of it begins to dwindle to where, just like I said, I'm able to, you
yeah.
know, um, do some things. Like I would break down, obviously, a baby and break down instantaneously. And now I can just go about my little way. So I can tell that, through time I will. But then that's not fair to grief is messy. It's not fair to people who, I have a lot of millennials in my family, so they're going to have friends who are pregnant or have babies and things like that or whatever. And, are they not going to not invite them because I'm coming? So do they protect me, or do they know it's my trigger and then they still do it anyway? Because, so what do it's almost like, we would rather just, and I'm talking about the griever, would rather just,
Not go.
okay, right.
But no, but then how do you get past that or
You
when
don't
or
get past it by being forced in your face either. You get past it whenever it's time for you to get past it. And I don't know that.
so
I
we
don't
just
think
gotta understand. We gotta
I don't have
understand
the
that
answer for that.
person.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So family, don't take it personal if she can't come or they can't come. Family, this is what I'm getting. We can't take it personal. We have to just understand you're not there yet. The griever, not you. The griever. They're not there. Don't take it personal because I can't come to your baby shower. I ain't there yet. Just understand that. But I love you, right? I love you still.
Always,
Um,
ever.
always. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just not there yet. Cause yeah. Oh my God. I wish we could do more. I really wish we could do more. And I feel like the only way we can is Mashika, thank you for joining us. Linda, thank you. Is talk. I think
Yeah,
talk.
it has to be conversations had. Conversations need to be had on a continuous basis,
Right.
on a regular basis, because it changes. It changes. And grief changes the whole, like I said, a whole family dynamics, the friendships, and the griever changes drastically in so many different areas of life and attitudes and feelings, emotions. Small talk. I can't do small talk.
Oh wait, what is considered small talk? And but while you think of that, Luz Reynoso says the griever is the only one who knows when he or she is ready. We
Yes.
definitely learned that. Ram says great discussion. Oh my God, grief is messy. Nicole, no time frame for grief. I mean, oh my God, I have learned so much
Mhm.
about this process. And I really, but what I want y'all to help me, because y'all know my mind, I tell y'all all the time, I forget a lot of stuff. I'm old. But, y'all just remind me, just remind me. I'm going to be okay with it. Just tell me today I need to talk, okay? Or I need you to listen. And I ain't going to get offended. I'm putting the disclaimer out there for me personally.
Right.
Everybody may not be in that space, but I have always been very open and a talker, and just tell me that's the only way I can know how to handle a situation is if you're honest with me, because I can dig my heels in the sand, and you ain't ready to sit down and park, and you ready to go, but
Mhm.
okay, let me pick it up and ready to go. I
Yeah.
can be versatile. I just gotta know, and I am very bad at being conscious of knowing. You didn't pay attention. Can't tell me I was like, you didn't see that. You didn't pay attention. No, attention to that. I'm minding my business. So if you tell me, okay,
Mhm.
look, I'm gonna pay attention. So
Mhm.
I do know that this month I've learned a lot, and I want to do better. I do, and I'm gonna just speak for the families. They ain't told me, but I'm gonna speak for all the families, for everybody I know. I think they want to do better too, because I feel like there's love in all of our circle in the family.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely. It's
so
never
much,
too late. It's
yeah.
never too late. It's
You
never too
know
late.
where we come from. We come from way back, and our families
Yeah.
and everybody is. We have a lot of love to give, and it's just, let's just talk about it. Let's just be open and honest, and say what we feel, and then say, oh wow, I didn't know that you felt that way. How can I help you through that process, or help
Yeah.
me through the process.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
I really feel.
when you don't talk about it, then all kind of assumptions get made, even from the griever's perspective. Just like when I communicate in the group with the ladies, they feel when nobody talks or says anything, they just feel like they don't want to be bothered, or they don't want to try, or they want to come around. Oh, now that she's out of the funk, oh, now she has a more smile on her face. Okay, now we can come back around. So that's what the griever begins to believe. Oh, now since I'm feeling better, oh, but where were you when it was hard? When it
Right.
was absolutely devastating to pry myself out the bed? Where were you?
Hmm.
Where
Right.
were you? So now that because whatever happens, the griever becomes a master of disguise. I have become a master of disguise.
Ooh, ooh, wait a minute. Master of disguise. Yeah, so you put on the face.
Oh
That love
yeah.
we talked about last week. We put on the face. She
Mhm.
said, I'm going to ask you this question. She said the most difficult thing for her about the whole grieving process is not being able to talk about it. What is your most difficult part?
Not being able to talk about it.
Mm,
Not been able to talk about it, not been able to talk, or making people, because I know it makes people feel uncomfortable, and I don't want people to feel uncomfortable. Like when I started talking about when someone asked me the question about, well, how many children do you have? And I said, oh well, I birthed one child, and they say, oh well, how old is she? And then I have to go on a conversation Because I'm gonna tell the truth. Oh, she died at 10 days old, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, and then the whole changes. It changes, So it's
But so should we, I mean, when you say that, is that okay for
I mean,
you?
that's okay. But what happens is either it's an awkward silence or is the subject's changed. The subject changed. And I don't know if people are comfortable in that way yet to talk about infant death. If they are okay to say, oh, well, I don't know what else they should say, but it begins to get that uncomfortable moment of silence for sure. And I don't know if, to say, oh, well, anything about her, and it's
Then
hard
you
to say because
make
it's
us feel comfortable.
what happens with an infant death is it's not where it's not like I had a 14-year-old that died or something like that to where I have some memories. I mourn the shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Mm,
I mourn it's the whole future.
mm. So is it okay then, once you say, if somebody does that, because you said you don't like them, how many children? You shouldn't say that, right? But that's kind of a common question.
No,
So
no, no. I'm not saying that they shouldn't say it. What I'm saying is that's something that it makes people don't think about things that bereaved parents have to go through. Like, did you ever think that I would have to, that would be something that would make me feel like, oh, in my heart, when someone asked me the question, like, how many kids do you have? Just a regular general, because people ask that. But
right,
because
people
I'm a
don't
grief,
know you had a
right.
child that you lost. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying. If they don't know and
Mm-hmm.
they're honestly, innocently say, hey, how many kids you have?
Right.
And then you say, yeah, I birthed one and I lost her after 10 days. Is it okay? Should we start asking you? Or should we, because you say in the silence or everybody turn away, that's not the right thing to do. So we probably should be like, what? Oh my God. So that must have been hard, or allow you to talk about it. What? I don't know what to say. What should we say?
I don't know what to say either, but I think what you said is just allow you to talk about it, but everybody doesn't want to, it's just not, it's grief is messy.
Yeah. So
Grief is
I think
messy.
what I'm hearing is you hear it gets awkward and silent. What we should be doing is saying, oh, tell me a little bit about that. Yeah or no?
I wouldn't necessarily say that because because we also don't want you to feel uncomfortable. So I don't want to go in this whole discussion about,
No,
uh,
but we gotta know what will make you feel better. Like, how do we get? Because I guarantee you, most people definitely want to know what happened. It will
mhm,
allow you to talk about it, and then also calm their curiosity. Because anytime somebody tell you, "Oh, so and so died," the first thing comes to your mind is, "What happened?"
mhm,
So it piques our curiosity. It
mhm,
allows you speak about it in, you know, in an arena where you feel safe only, I guess. But I don't know. With that, I'm thinking I'm just trying to find cures, like, so we can say, okay, it's okay, ask the person. But also, what I've learned is everybody is different. Some
mhm,
people, because I do have a relative who lost had several infant deaths, and she shared with me that she only talks about her situation to certain people. So
mhm,
then I guess you got to know if you one of those people, or I don't know,
mhm,
because that eliminates anybody who just comes up and say, hey, how many children do you have? Because you do have some surviving children. And then if I walked up not knowing her saying, oh my God, okay, how many children do you have? And you say seven and there's only three here or whatever, then I'm going to ask about the other ones, right? That's a normal, natural.
normal. Yeah, it's normal. Mhm.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. You're right.
You're right.
We gotta keep going. Lou said many of us on the outside looking in think the griever knows we're there for them. That is an unspoken understanding, but it's not. It's important to make this clear. I have allowed it to be to dawn on me just now. Thank you for this conversation. This is very important. Thank you, Ruth, for joining us, Montoya. Please
That's
forgive
that's
me. I'm doing.
that's my USC sister, Luce, Dr.
Oh,
Luce.
okay, Ruth.
Yes,
I'm like, please
USC
forgive
family, they're joining. I see them on
me.
here.
Ali-Shah, you have so much love. Honestly, I've been tuned into our conversation like I always am, but I'm trying to do two hats because I don't, you know. But man, you got a lot of love on here. They're like we here with you, Alicia. Thank you for joining and sharing your story. I mean, you got a lot of love out there. I can't read them
Thank you
all.
guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support.
Nicole says, I say I have four children. My oldest son Tony was murdered. So, oh,
Okay.
is that kind of I don't know, Lo. We gotta talk about that. 'Cause is that making it more comfortable for you or the person, or we all gotta understand
I
it?
I mean, it's our truth.
It's your truth. It's your truth.
The truth.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Alicia, y'all type. Y'all got. We all passed the hour. See what I'm saying? We passed the hour. But if y'all got a real quick, really good question that y'all want to get it in now. Type it. Click like and share. Put it in now, family. Type it. I'm gonna have one that I know everybody is wanting to know, and it's a sensitive question. That's why I'm giving y'all time to click like and share. Type your question in really quick. If you got one that you just really want answered, are you planning on trying to have more children? You already know that's the question of the night.
Right. It wasn't an absolute no, but it is definitely it's scary.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to survive another one.
Just don't. Yeah. 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 I definitely I could not even imagine trying to do that twice. I couldn't even imagine. Yeah.
So um, I would have to just bury myself with Bible scriptures and in the church and just move in there and just just be with one just with God, go to somewhere to meditate because I would the human flesh me would be so freaking scared and paranoid and just every little thing I would be so worried about. I would just think, you know, the worst, honestly.
Yeah.
I would be
Yeah.
preparing myself.
Self sabotage.
Mhm.
Self sabotage. So in all of this, and we didn't cover that, and let's dive into that really quick.
Uh-huh.
You did go to therapy. That was very helpful for you.
And you know why?
Yes, tell us.
Oh, it was one of my teacher friends who she doesn't even have children. And she said that she has a friend who lost a child and she walked her through the process and went with her to therapy. Can she help me? She's willing to help me. And she introduced me to the organization called the Compassionate Care Friends.
Mm,
And it's an organization for people who have lost infant children
mm,
and who have lost children. And so then they have different sectors for infant, stillborns, uh, little kids, toddlers, so you can get in your portion. And so mine, of course, was for infants. And she taught me about that. And after that, I was just so I didn't understand these feelings, and it was just so much pain. And I said, if there's someone, there has to be someone who has gone through this. Need to find someone. So I guess God gave me the strength to go and research different organizations on top of me going there. And I found all these different, support groups on Facebook to where I was communicating with them. And it was just the best thing ever most of the time. Most of the time. It's the best thing ever because I had to know and see somebody else who's gone through it to know that they would survive and be okay, even though people were telling me I would, but they didn't feel the same pain.
Right, right. Yeah, and because what I do know to be common is that all the people that I know that have experienced it have all experienced those feelings of not wanting to live.
Amen.
So that's normal. If anybody out there that is feeling that, please understand that's normal to go through those types of feelings. But the best thing is to try, if you can muster any strength, reach out to some of these support groups. Um, I do know that I think everybody that has been on this month, they had some sort of a support group. I feel like the support groups were monumental in survival. Let me see. I'm just want to. D. Berry says, "Beyond human strength, you inspire me to be better." Oh my God, that's
Thank
great.
you.
Sharon Collins says, "I love you, Ali. You are such an amazing woman. I look forward to the day we finally meet." Oh my God, and you don't even know her?
She's been my Facebook friend for so many years, and we just have not been able to meet up.
Yeah, well, you guys gotta y'all make that connection.
Yeah.
Ali-Shah, I love you to the moon and back. We go way, way, way back. And I really, really, for everybody who I know that has suffered significant loss, y'all hold me accountable. I'm saying it on my face, Instagram, YouTube, all of the above. Y'all hold me accountable. Just call me and say, hey, you ain't called me this week. And I'll be like, oh, sorry, I forgot. Whatever I say, but I'm going to sit there and listen, and I want to do better. So please hold me accountable, anything. And what we have learned, let's recap what we have learned.
Mhm.
We have learned supporter. Don't wait for them to reach out to you. Reach out to them. Don't say, let me know if there's anything I can do. Suggest things, right? Can I go to the store for you? Can I come sit with you? Can I clean the house? Can I go get your gas? All of the above. Can I watch the children? Whatever the case may be. That will vary depending on whoever you're supporting. But we got to do better with reaching out. Person who's going through the grief, y'all gotta just, yeah, I know it's tough, but be a little bit more verbal when you can be verbal
Yeah. Hmm.
about sharing what you're going through and saying, this is how I felt when you did that. Or when you weren't here for this.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes I can tell you almost undeniably, we think we doing the right thing and we think we there, we think we on point, and we are totally missing the mark. So I just want both of us to climb a little higher, because as long as we are here and living, surely we will experience some grief and loss. um,
Absolutely.
our prayer is that God gives us strength to navigate life after that. Ali-Shah, life for you today is what?
Life for me today is heavy,
Heavy.
heavy.
And that's the God honest truth.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You guys, it's been a real conversation here at the Kitchen Table Talk. So before I want to say again, thank you, Ali-Shah, and to all of our guests this month for sharing your journeys with us. I know it's very personal and very intimate, but trust me, I believe that somebody out there heard something or felt something
Yeah.
that made a difference, or made a difference in their life, or how they're going to move forward. And I, for one, am one of those people. So I thank you. Love you, poo poo. I'm going to put you in the groom room. Stay there. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right. All right, you guys. Oh my God. This was a real conversation. And we just actually, I'm sorry, my counterpart, Ram, she had technical difficulties tonight with her internet. But I also want to make the announcement that we're going to take a couple of week hiatus. We're gonna try to put some of our most popular shows to do a repeat, but for the next couple of weeks, we're gonna press reset, right? We talk about mental health all month, so we're gonna press reset. We're gonna work out some things. It's particularly this whole distance thing because, if you remember when we first started this, we really didn't envision this whole internet thing. So we're gonna press reset, kind of revamp some things, and decide how we're going to move forward. But one thing y'all can do is click like and share. Give me some feedback. Let us know if we're doing anything right, if we helping anybody out there, if we need to go on, or if we need to just put a pause on it. Let us know, because if y'all don't talk back to us, we don't know. So, okay, please do that for us if you will. In the meantime, we're going to put some things out there for y'all to view, the most highly rated shows that we've had the next couple of weeks, and then we'll come back and let you know where we're going to go from there. Thank you guys for joining you. I love you. May God bless you and be with you. Stay safe.